Issues of female genital mutilation, it's not just an African problem, it's a global problem. And as we know, already more than 200 million girls globally. My story started when I was 8 years old. That is when my circumcision was planned. But since I never wanted to undergo circumcision, since I wanted to go on with my education, I had to run two times. And later on, I came back to my community with the support of my grandfather. And I decided now to start working for the people, to start helping the community to understand that also girls and women have their rights, and it is important for them to be saved from all these harmful practices like female genital mutilation and child marriage. I escaped because, remember, it's a must for every girl in my community to undergo circumcision. It's mainly done from the age of 8 years to 14 years. That means you cannot be considered a woman in that community if you've not undergone the cut. But because I've seen my girlfriends, after their circumcision, they are married off at that young age. And after seeing them that they were not able to continue with their education, and I saw also death in my community, a girl dying because of death. That is why I never wanted to agree to undergo the cut, but to go to school. Female genital mutilation, it's a cultural issue. You know, we have other people who are trying to attach it with religion, but it's not there. It's a cultural issue. And that means we all have different reasons and needs behind female circumcision. The reason in my community, it's a rite of passage from girlhood to womanhood. It is what makes you a woman. And that means the community is preparing you to be a woman. So after circumcision, you're not considered as a child, even if you're 12 years old. And why they are simply doing that is because they want to marry you off. And remember, when you give birth to a girl child in my community, you consider yourself wealthier because you'll get cows in exchange for dowry after her circumcision when you're married off. It's a very sensitive issue, you know. It's about changing culture, it's about changing mindset. And I will say there are things that patience is really key in this work, because that is a practice that has been there for more than 200 years. It means you can't take a day to change people. It takes time. It's a whole process. It's about having dialogues with cultural leaders. In Kenya, we have the Prohibition Act against female genital mutilation in 2011, but remember, the law itself is not enough. When we are doing that work, it's not just about giving out information. It's about, addressing issues of gender equality. It's about addressing women empowerment, because these women have to be empowered. You know, we have to look at them economically, that they have things that they are able to do to be able to take care of their families. It's about girls and boys going to school. And I will say investment in education is really very important when we are trying to address any kind of harmful practice, either child marriage or teenage pregnancy, because when people have knowledge, they get to understand better these issues. Now we are working with the communities with the support from Amref Africa. So what we do is we give out sexual education on sexual and reproductive health and rights issues to both parents, because remember, men involvement in this work is very important. And after training these girls for a week, we have a one-day ceremony whereby we call it an alternative rites of passage ceremony. The whole community comes together and celebrate with these girls. And now girls are blessed by cultural leaders with books and pens. And that way girls are allowed to go back to school and get their education. And for the 10 years we've been working with the Masai communities in Kenya and Tanzania again, we've been able to reach over 16,000 girls. Issues of female genital mutilation, it's not just an African problem, it's a global problem. And as we know, already more than 200 million girls globally, and that is why Amref is now trying to find out a global solution. The Amref office here in Italy was able to take people to Kenya to go and learn the best practices, the model that is working. It's a big achievement that we truly celebrate. So when they come and learn on a solution that is happening in Kenya and it's changing people, I think that's the way to go. And even us, we can come here and learn from them and see how the community here, you know, their interventions, how they are working and how they are trying to find out solutions. Origin of female genital mutilation is Africa. So that means there are solutions that are happening there. There are changes that are happening there. How can we bring it here so that we make sure girls all over the world, not just in Africa, are free from FGM?